Looks like we're officially in. All right. Make sure everybody's good to go. They got their stuff in order. Stag's already got his stuff cleared off. Oh, okay, good. And looks like everybody's resetting now. Yep, he's resetting now. So once we hear sound, we're going to get started. Yeah, looks like no sound yet. Give it a few seconds. And it should be about ready to make a move. Can you hear me up?
Yeah, I'm all set. I figured we're probably live. I think people are probably hearing us, right? It's hype. What's going on, everybody?
It's lit. All right, so yeah, we're being. All righty.
All right, chat says they can hear us, so yeah.
Sweet.
Guys, we got a standard flags randomizer race today. We're sort of in between week 1 and week 2 of the winter league, so we're taking a break, going back to standard flags, and we got some runners scrambling from watching the last race, hurrying up and joining us over here in the weekly, and people are just getting themselves readied up now, and we're going to be going momentarily. What's going on, Sinister?
Same stuff, different day, living life in paradise. Today we have Big Slamu, Elmore St. James, BK9146, and Stags 28 doing their standard today. So it's the standard that you used to seeing, so don't expect us to go with a 45-minute run unless RNGesus decides to give us hurt more and start blasting people with flames right out the rip. Let's see in chat those hypes.
Yeah, there's a question in chat. Are we doing no keys here? No, this is standard flags. We're going to have keys required. And we're going to check out the throne room here. What's going on?
All right, here we go. We got instructions from the king. King is giving us instructors, and today we start off with a curse belt. We're going to start with some fairy water and the obligatory key. So we have at least one search item out in the belt, so this should be interesting. So,
I caught single-digit attack power. They're starting with the sleep spell to help them out a little bit. And there's swamp nearby. So this will be a little interesting to just get the first couple of levels. Like this Magic Drakey is probably already a little bit too strong, but the regular Drakey here, Big Slamu, is going to take a swing and only do 1 damage. So yeah, I think it might have been 8 attack power, maybe less.
Maybe a little less. And looks like our runners are looking. Ooh, we already got level 2 on the because DK already killed a Magic Reiki, so he's almost level 3 already. So 11, 7.
Wow. How did he kill the Magic Reiki? We're doing 0 to 1 damage. Was there a crit? Definitely the sleep spell helps here, but yeah, it's like Big Slamu just used almost all of his HP to take down 1 Drakey. Not sure if he even used the sleep spell. Sometimes it's easy to forget, like you're just itching to get out into the field. You see your strength score, you're like, all right, what am I going to fight? And then you forget, wait, I have the sleep spell. It makes things a lot easier.
Yeah, unfortunately, Metal Scorpion's getting people's numbers right now. And we have Drakeys.
Yeah, it also Sinister. It also can be used defensively, right? If you stray out too far and you do find a metal scorpion or a wolf like down here in Stag Screen, instead of just trying to run with really low agility, you might want to just throw a sleep spell out there and then run away. And going up a little further, we have Axe Knights. So yeah, you don't want to be straying too far from home just yet.
And speaking of some nastiness, don't be bothering with the magic drakes because those bad boys have hurt more.
What's funny too, Sinister, is that if you try and get up into the desert there to the north, where it's a very much higher encounter rate, unfortunately that's not the primary zone. So you're gonna have to like walk around in the grass, which is very frustrating because it's a very low encounter rate to walk in the grass. But you do see the slime is showing up and the Drakey. If you stay in the grass, you can get monsters that are defeatable and you can get to level 2.
Yeah, it looks like DK's at level 3, Big Samu's at 2, while Elmore and Stags are still on level 1 right now.
Ooh, and Magidrakey actually has Hurt More, which takes down DK, so he was successful a couple of times against that enemy, but all of a sudden, maybe it's low percentage, but it comes back with the Hurt More, which without any kind of protection, it's doing a minimum of 30 damage to you, and that's enough to one-shot you for the near future here.
Yeah, it's 25% rate right now. Also, our, and looks like Vale is saying 3, 6, 5, 7, and Hurt More off. So
Stags was starting to go east here, and there's a cave, and there's actually a town up to the northeast here in the swamp. Unfortunately, these are random zones now, so he's running into a Joel Magi. But if you happen to get to the town and it happens to be like coal, for example, that could be a big deal. Right now, he probably doesn't have a whole lot of money to spend, so there's not a lot to do in the town right now. You might want to go check out that cave.
Yeah, he ain't doing anything with the town. By the way, that is Kingdom 6. We'll leave the torch out. We'll keep the torch lit for you.
I'm thinking that this is Swamp Cave South. So they actually did start with the outside spell, if I recall. From the south side, you actually can cast outside here and pop through the cave. You could find yourself in the back of Garanham here, for example. I'm pretty sure they started with sleep and outside. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong there. But that could be a big deal if you can outside through that cave and you could find either the back of Tantagle or the backside of Garanham. Stags is going straight back there. I think he remembers now that he has the outside spell.
Yeah, while Magic Drakeys are still giving the business with that Hurt More, looking more along the lines of 25. Ooh, AK-47. Nope, we are not dealing. So Sherlock is nearby. Enemies of Sherlock is here, and they are throwing axes to the face and shooting them in the bullets.
Yeah, it looks like the zones are offset sort of to the west and also maybe to the south. So if you cross the bridge and start going east, you end up in that random zone where you're finding, that AK-47 is actually pretty close by. So yeah, it's pretty brutal. Stags is kind of like wandering around. He's just finding himself in the secondary zones a lot right now. Can't get off level 1 because he's just going too far and finding poltergeists and wolves. He's got to stay really close to the castle to make sure he stays in that primary zone and picks up the slimes and the drakeys.
Well, right now he's going to do a reset, looks like. Seeing that he lost a little bit.
I wonder what's happening here, because he's starting completely over, and he's got to open the chests all over again. I wonder why he went with the reset here.
Maybe to sell something, because there is a cursed belt.
Ooh, that is an idea, actually. Yeah, and he's the one that found Brecconary, so I didn't even think of that, but that's a good plan. Maybe he could have checked to see if there was a copper sword there. You can sell that cursed belt in Brecconary for 180 gold. You can go pick yourself up a weapon and get a little bit of a jump start on the rest of the field here. So he's got some kind of plan. I think there was a fairy water as well, and maybe he already used it and it didn't work out. So he reset to get the fairy water out of the chest so that he could use it on something like a Magidrakey.
Maybe. And that's probably how the Magidrakey felt to begin with. Oh, there's a warlock, and he is not getting away. He's probably going to get smacked in the face a couple more. Ooh, he gets away, but he doesn't have the help to go and take care of Brecconary.
This is an interesting start. There actually are options, and most of our runners have been just kind of trying to grind really small enemies with no weapon and no armor. And little did they know, there is Swamp Cave nearby, and there's the town of Breckenary, and they're holding, the cursed belt that could be sold, like you said. So there actually are other options here to try and speed things along, but mostly they're just trying to grind some levels.
Yeah, it's not happening the way it's supposed to be. We're already 6 minutes, going on 7 minutes in. We're only at level 4, and small enemies are looking like they're bringing in the pain. The only one right now, DK, is currently at level 4. But Big Slam, who also hit level 4, and Stags is still on level 1 right now. So
yeah, Elmore St. James went to the north, finds a Metal Scorpion. Metal Scorpions in the early game are pretty rough because they're pretty fast, so it's hard to run from them. And they end up dishing out some pretty good attack power on you. So, yeah, you want to get a few... And once you get a few levels under your belt, that becomes a really good enemy, though, because they have low hit points. But for right now, that's not the one you want to see. And Elmore does find the cave to the east. If he figures out this is Swamp Cave, I wonder if he's going to remember that they started with the outside spell. He's actually just walking through. Maybe I'm not right on that. Maybe it was the return spell they started with. I don't know. I swear it was the sleep and the outside spell, I thought.
It's outside. It's outside.
Yeah, so he did not remember, and now he's got an AK-47 before he gets to the town. That's too bad.
Simul AK-47 kills. Stags has also been defeated by the AK. And it's actually a very good spot right above Tantegel Castle. If you make it to the north, right in that small swamp area, and you abuse the sleep spell, you can smack people in the face at Zone 1.
Yeah, that's what DK9146 is doing in the lower right corner. He is looking for the Metal Scorpions and these Warlocks. He's not doing a lot of damage, but he is on level 4, so they picked up a little bit of attack power. So he's doing some damage, and he's been putting this Warlock to sleep. Unfortunately, it's going to take a lot of attacks to get this Warlock. Wow, he gets it with... The Warlock just didn't wake up. So 20 huge experience points, and that's a jump to level 5, where we get some mediocre stats, and we also learned the stop spell, I believe. So, yeah, if any, like the Magidrake had hurt more, for example, you could try stop spell if you didn't want to go with the sleep strats. The Wolf here is just going to send DK home, but yeah, DK is out to a nice experience lead, Sinister.
Yes, 3723 were the level for level 5 stats, and that is disgusting. So currently right now, there's not a whole lot of people want to be doing. They're still going to be trying to find them grind spots.
It's amazing that both of the runners that found the Swamp Cave, they didn't remember that they had the outside spell, because if that ends up going back into Garanham and there's something really important there, that's just an opportunity lost for everybody that knows the cave is there. Now, I don't think DK has ventured that far to the east yet. He's going that way now. Well, he's going more north, so he hasn't seen the town or the cave over there. And to our top left screen, Big Slamu, I think he sees it now. I see the town on his screen, and I see the cave is down there, but he finds an Axe Knight. So he's going to have to start over from the castle. Maybe he's going to go back there. Let's see if he makes it through the cave.
Right now, the other side of cave, which is the entrance to Swamp North, leads to another continent or another area of this big continent. So no Garanham.
Oh, really? I missed it. Who made it through?
DK, Stags did it first, then DK, then Big Slamu. So yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay, I totally missed them actually getting through the cave. That's great.
Yeah, they used the outside spell, and AK-47s are still over there, still causing havoc. So cannons are must.
Yep, no Garanham, no back of Tantegel. Just gonna have to fight some monsters. Still nobody has gone through the trouble to sell that cursed belt in Breckenary. So we're still weaponless.
Stags did, but he didn't. But there's no weapons around right now, so yeah.
Okay, maybe just picked up some herbs and stuff, and it's gonna just go that way. Okay. Well, finding a golem, that's not gonna help matters.
Big red fist straight to the face. Big Slamu leaves.
So while we're trying to pick up some levels, just for the newer viewers here, Dragon Warrior 1 was pretty simple and straightforward. We have to search the world for 3 quest items. We put those together, we talk to an old man, and we get access to this castle right here on the top left, which is Charlotte Castle, home of the Dragon Lord. And you're also going to want to try and upgrade equipment to Erdrich's sword and Erdrich's armor at some point. So that's basically like 5 key quest items that we're looking for. And there's 16 locations. It's 8 towns and castles and 8 caves. And here's an important town. It's Rimuldar. This is important because it's the only town where you can actually buy keys. But he probably doesn't have enough money right now, so he just nopes out and he's going to check out the cave. But no.
Nope. Stoneman says, no, you will not go check out that cave. I'm giving you a right hook and you're going home.
No good. Yeah, he didn't have enough gold. It looked like he had about 30 gold. The keys sell for 53 gold each. And the keys are important because you can see right there at the home castle, there's a treasury with 4 chests sitting right there. Could potentially have Erdrich's sword or Erdrich's armor just sitting right there at home. And it unlocks several other locations throughout the world, such as, the prison for the princess has to be unlocked. The back door for Garenham. There's a door in Cantlin where you can get coordinates for a search spot out there in the world. So yeah, getting keys is going to be a priority, and Big Slamu knows where that is going to take place. I think he's the only one that has seen Rimuldar, right, Sinister?
Yeah, yes.
So that's a good advantage, knowledge for him. He knows where those keys are now.
And he's selling his cursed belt, looks like. So I'm thinking he's probably going to beeline it straight to Rimuldar now.
Yeah, this is a great play. Sell the cursed belt and maybe stop back at home and save. I'm not sure. I don't know.
I wouldn't.
Or maybe not. Maybe if you happen to die, then you still at least have 100 gold, and then you save while the king is reviving you. So yeah, he's gonna head over to Rimuldar probably and pick up some keys. First, he's actually going to go back into Swamp Cave though. So going outside. Is that where Rimuldar was? Was it out here?
Yeah.
Okay, second continent. All right, nice.
Yep, just below the cave. So he needs to get through Sherlock enemies.
And what was this cave here?
We don't know. He never made it. And he's not going to make it.
Oh, so that's half of the gold. So Cursed Belt is just gone now, and he lost half the gold. He might want to save right now because he's standing in front of the king.
Yeah,
but no, he's not going to save. He's just going.
We found Nice Guy Cave, and there's Erdrich's token. Ooh.
Ooh, in the bonus cave? It's always interesting when there's something important in that cave.
And that's the cave right next to Rimuldar. So Stags has got keys.
If he can afford it, right? He's going to attempt to use the inn. No, he only has 11 gold, Sinister. So everybody has this problem right now where they're only able to fight very small monsters. They've been getting sent back home, which every time you get sent back home, it costs you half of your gold. So just like Big Slamu, Stags doesn't have enough money to buy any keys yet.
Hold on, Elmore has found the grave.
Okay, that's a good pickup for Elmore. So there are 3 chests here that don't require a magic key to access them. Up here to the northeast, he's actually almost there. If he could just not die to some of these monsters. Gets away from the Troll Magi, that's pretty good. Because he's only at level 4, so it's not going to be that easy to get away from these monsters. He's actually trying to fight the Drakima. Yeah, I think he should probably prioritize just getting to these chests here. He's almost there.
He's almost there, but looks like he's going to make it. So, chest number 1, torch. Chest number 2, money. Chest number 3, death necklace. Ooh.
So what's interesting, Sinister, if he actually already had keys, he could take a death warp here and actually try and set up a gold grind if there happens to be gold in the treasury. But he hasn't found keys yet, or he hasn't bought keys yet. So he's going to have to maybe come back here and set that up all over again.
Yeah, and looking from where he's at, it's looking a little suspect right now. We don't even know where he's at in the world.
Yeah, the eastern edge of the world for sure, but yeah, I don't know how he got there, so pretty far away from where everybody else is, that's for sure. He did pick up the death necklace in there. Maybe you could explain how that works, but that's something that could come into play later.
Okay, that's near Breckenary, surprisingly enough. If my view is correct, that is Breckenary right there, and he's right there. So Garen's Grave near
Oh, he
Breckenary.
could actually sell the death necklace here as well. It sells for 1,200 gold. If there's a broadsword here, there is a broadsword here. Oh, this would be an interesting play. He could actually sell the death necklace and pick up a broadsword, but no. He
Yeah, I
wants
don't
to
think.
hold on to the death necklace because it could come into play at the end of the race.
Yeah, and AK-47 is saying, "Hey, how you doing? I see you got some jewelry. Let me snatch it from you, or at least beat you up for it." There's another town. No, oh, Big Slamu, what are you doing? There was another town just above, but he's gonna grab keys.
Question in chat. Yeah, if you sell that death necklace, you actually cannot pick it up again. It's gone forever. What happens in the original game is there's only a very low percentage chance when you open the chest that the death necklace is there, and if it's not there, it's just money in that chest. And if you pick it up once, from then on for the rest of the game, it'll always just be money. So that carries over to the randomizer. It's a one-time thing. If you uncurse yourself, it gets lost as well. So it's a one-time use thing, and if you sell it, it's just gone. So you have to make up your mind, typically very early in the seed, if that 1,200 gold is important enough to where you want to take the risk that you're not going to need the death necklace at the end.
It looks like we're about to see a town. Hold on. Come on, Samu, get out of there. It is coal. Free item to have.
Ooh, yes. We're gonna go take a bath, right? Isn't that what you say?
Oh
There's
yeah.
there's a large shield here, which could be interesting if there's no gold grind. That's something you always want to look out for, the large shield. There's a hand axe available. Of course, Slamu doesn't have a lot of money, but the erdrich sword is laying on the ground. Best weapon in the game. He is ready to go.
Business has just picked up. That's 40 extra attack power that you did not have originally. Now we're gonna give people the business, and unfortunately, Drill Magi say we got some flames for your behind. You will go home, but you will take a sword with you. Have fun.
I mean, that's a huge development. Now, a lot of this race is going to come down to who explores in that direction in the near future and gets that sword. Because, for example, DK over here is a nice experience lead all the way at level 7. He's messing around here in Breckenary, buying some items. He may have sold his cursed belt. But all of this doesn't matter so much if you don't get over there and get that sword, because experience lead is going to evaporate in a hurry when people are swinging for 40 extra attack power.
Stag's got a sword, and in the treasury, a bunch of gold, but more importantly, the stones of sunlight.
Stones of sunlight. Wow, where was that?
That was in the treasury.
Oh, so he got keys. And, okay, very good. That was Big Slamu. Yeah, so he has a nice... He doesn't have the experience lead yet, but I feel like he is in the lead in this race. He has keys. He has opened up some locations. And most importantly right now, he has the sword. So look at this skeleton now. He's going to just dispatch the skeleton so quickly. And that's 25 quick experience. Like, that's such a big difference right now.
And let's not forget, Stag's also made it to Cole as well, so he also got his sword. So he's took down a druid that fast.
But Stags has the sword as well. Okay, good for Stags. And he is actually looking for an enemy in this the zone now, where I think he went a little bit too far to the east. But if you stay in that desert to the north, I think he's looking for the warlock and the wolf that was popping up there, which is actually a really good choice right now for having the sword, but still with kind of low attack power. The wolf and the warlock is right in the sweet spot where you get a couple of quick levels.
Well, right now, level 7 has heal more, so DK has heal more.
Big Slamu back in Rimmildar yet again. This time is going to go check out the chest. He finally has enough keys to go see what this chest is. It's just more gold.
Which means more keys.
Could go get some armor, actually, now. He's got 1,700 worth. Maybe the large shield and the, but no, this particular shop just has the magic armor. What was that other shop? The other town had the large shield and I think like a chainmail. That would have been
That was
perfect.
that is Kingdom 6.
Yeah, he's got to get back there if he wants some defense. But sometimes defense doesn't become a priority when you get that sword. You just want to go, go, go now. I'm sure he's thinking about just getting out there on the map.
Yeah, he's probably gonna make his way to Cole to see about defense. And he makes it to Cole safely, so he's gonna check out some defense.
Oh, maybe this was the shop I'm thinking of. Yeah, so Cole has... Yeah, this was it. So yeah, it has the large shield. I guess the armor was a little... I don't know, maybe there's a leather armor or something. He's not going to bother. And then he already got the sword off the ground there, so he just gets out of town and he's moving on further to the west. Remember, the castle started off towards the eastern edge of the map, so there's going to be a lot of map. You're just going to be walking further and further to the west as you get stronger and stronger here.
Elmore has made it to the baths.
Oh man, there's another cave here on Big Slamu's screen. He's got the Staff of Rain cave. So we're finding everything pretty quickly, actually.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he does not have the silver harp, so there'll be no staff today. At least not right this second.
Yeah, and honestly, that's one of the things that when you're kind of new to this rando, that can trip you up, because now what happens is he has to remember where that cave is. Which, when you're just like running around in the map, especially if you don't draw maps, that's kind of out there in the middle of nowhere, and maybe much later in the race, he's going to find that silver harp, and it's like, wait, where was that cave? I got to go back there and trade that in. So sometimes when you find things out of order, it's a little bit tricky on your mind. You have to remember all this stuff.
Well, right now, it looks like 3 of our 4 races have the sword. DK needs to find his way to Cole so he can go and get his sword so he can...
Yeah, it's a shame for DK because he was the one that got out to the big experience lead. He was doing everything right, had really good tactics, made really good use of the sleep spell. Just hasn't walked in that direction far enough, and so he hadn't found Cole yet. Right now he's going to go through the cave, so he may end up finding Rimildar if he hasn't seen that yet. But he still won't have the sword for a little while still. So yeah, everybody else is going to be catching up on him now.
Yeah, and looks like there's a lot of swamp this one, and another AK-47 in... Slamu gets away. He gets away. He's going south of the cave, so he's going to check somewhere out real quick.
So DK actually has leveled up a little bit, and he is doing some damage on some of the medium monsters. I see that he has some sort of a sword there. Is that a copper sword, maybe? So something like the Spectre here, he's actually fighting successfully. It's just taking more hits than, you know, if he had the erdrich sword. This is like a 2-shot easily. Right now, it might be an epic battle, but he'll still get it. It's just taking longer. So the more time it takes, the faster everybody's catching up to him while he doesn't have the big sword.
Yeah, he has a broadsword, by the way.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
he managed to buy a broadsword, okay. Without selling the death necklace, okay.
Big Slamu has found the Officer of the Day, and his badge number today is 733754. He's going to need to file a complaint at the precinct and get your badges in chat right now.
Yeah, when it's early in a race, it's so brutal when you find a red dragon on the overworld because they're so hard to run from, and they just hit so hard. So, anyway, Big Slamu is grabbing some money out of the treasury, and looks like he's going to go towards the basement of Tantacle. It's going to maybe stock up on more keys here.
Ooh, we have found the jerk. And for those who don't know why he is a jerk, if you do not have everything you need, especially Erdrich's token, he commences to kick you out with his big leathery boot.
Yeah, and that's another location that you have to remember where it is for later. Because once you have all 3 items, that's where you have to talk to that guy to actually get access to Charlotte Castle. So right now they don't have all 3 quest items as indicated on our tracker there. So they're going to have to remember where that is for later. Of course, in this seed, it's just in the basement of the castle, so that's usually kind of easy to remember. But the Staff of Rain Cave, that's one that you can forget where that is pretty easily.
Yeah, and DK is still exploring that east side of the second continent. And he gave it the king of the business.
Yeah, so we just call this exploration luck, right? It's not like you're doing anything wrong, but he just didn't walk to the west from Tentacle. And so he just didn't find coal. And it's not that far from home, he just didn't go in that direction. And now he's just going further and further out into the second continent. And he just doesn't have Erdrich Sword yet. Now, it hasn't really bit him yet. Like, he's still maintaining this experience lead, interestingly enough. I guess the weapon that he has is sort of good enough for now, but...
It's about to bite him. Mr. Wizard is gonna make sure he gets the business.
Well, he does have one more heal more he could use, but no, just takes a death here. Maybe he was just done with this area.
He needs to go west. He needs to go west from. He needs to go west from the.
Go west, young man. There are big swords laying in the grass.
Yeah, there is a sword up in the grass. And unfortunately, right now, a lot of our runners are now getting walled despite having the sword.
See Elmore bravely just trudging right into a giant swamp here. Every step through a swamp takes 2 hit points off your total. But they do have healing spells right now. This is a really big swamp going all the way to the south here, but yeah, once you have healing, it's not too big of a deal. You just have to remember to heal every so often. That heal more spell was learned fairly early on, so it's helped the runners explore a lot further out than they otherwise would have.
Yeah, right now looks like there's a lot of things that it's just not right. Runners are at 7, 7, 6, and 9 respectively, and currently, right now there's really no other progression outside of what we currently have.
So Sinister, check this out on Big Slamu. He's just going back and forth here, just grinding more levels. I guess I think this is just the north zone near home. He's just looking for the wolf and the metal scorpion. You don't see a lot of people do this, but I guess he just figures he doesn't really like the rest of his stats. He already has Erdrich Sword. No reason to really rush out onto the map if you maybe don't have like HP and agility. Not sure what he's looking for, but he has decided that just like picking up some wolves and some warlocks here in the north zone, just get the quick next level before he goes any further.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Elmore tried to make it back to Breckenridge through the swamp, and he gets the business. So right now, our runners are just trying to grind while DK is trying to do some exploration. He needs to get back to Swamp Cave and make his way west.
Yeah, DK just keeps going east across this bridge, like over and over again. He just wants to clear out this entire landmass here. Just hasn't gone west from the castle.
He needs to go east to go get to Swamp Cave, and then he has to go flamethrower.
Oh, I thought Cole was just straight west. I didn't think that was Second Continent.
No, that was Second Continent. He has to go west from Swamp Cave.
Oh, I thought that was Rimmildar. That was west from Swamp Cave.
Same Rimmildar.
Oh, Cole is right there too? Okay.
Yep, Cole is north of Rimmildar.
That's what it was. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, right now it looks like our runners are kind of perplexed here, and yeah, the Wraith Knight's got the Big Daddy breath, so Stags is about to catch the bad news if he can't put him to sleep.
See, I'm actually a fan of what Big Slamu is doing. I often do this in my races. Like, if you just feel like you're getting sniped by big monsters on the map, you don't want to just keep dying. So just go get this wolf. You're like two-shotting the wolf at worst here. The wolf happens to have the heal spell, apparently. But yeah, I mean, with the Erdrich Sword, he's chopping down this wolf with no risk. And, you know, he can get the next level very quickly. So here's level 8. I wonder if this is going to give him enough where he feels confident now. It's going to give him a nice power boost. 7 more hit points and a couple of more spells. So yeah, it looks like he's done with the grind now. So yeah, that was a nice power boost in level 8.
Yeah, level 8 gave him quite the beef. So he's going to go to Breckenridge, aka Kingdom 6. He's going to get him some armor. And he is going to take his behind and continue searching westward, because east has nothing.
Yeah, so this chop had like a half plate. There's a silver shield here, which there is gold in the treasury, Sinister, correct? So
yes, there is.
Yeah, so surprisingly, nobody's actually set up a gold grind yet, because we did have at least one runner enter the grave. So it is possible already to be setting up a gold grind, but yeah, so far nobody's done it. There's a magic armor, I think, and a silver shield right there in Breckenary, like the closest town, and you'd just be set for defense. So
And guess what? The Pimp Lord has gave his flamethrower to his man, the officer on duty.
wait,
So
was that the big breath or was that the small breath that got him?
oh no! He gave him the flamethrower. He didn't give him a lighter. He gave him the flamethrower.
So red dragons have the DL2 breath. Yeah, that is kind of rough for right now in the overworld, and potentially if they show up in Sharlock. That's something to be aware of for later.
And in addition to that, if they are the bouncer, it's almost required. They need that armor.
Yeah, what's the most fun thing in this scenario is when the red dragon is like in Hawksness and it's guarding the armor, and then it's like, oh man, how do I fight this guy? Because you gotta beat it once just to get the armor, and somehow you have to beat it without the armor. We'll cross that bridge later. So here is the grave actually on Big Slamoo's screen, and so he could be going to set up a gold grind here.
He could set up a gold grind, but he can also be trying to explore the grave. He does have keys. In addition to that, though, DK finally picks up his sword.
Okay, so everyone's on level playing field. We have erdrich's sword for everyone now, and despite all of that time, he still has the experience lead Sinister, which actually surprises me. Usually when some runners find the sword quickly and takes you like another 20 minutes to find it, you are not going to have the experience lead at the end of all that. But he has maintained it, so good on DK for managing to fight monsters without the sword. Now he has it.
Yeah, here's the thing though. Big Slamoo could have cut into that lead had Metal Slime been a little bit more cooperative, but unfortunately 2 Metal Slimes, 2 chickens, they left with the quickness.
Well, he's the first one to get down here into the lower levels of the grave. We are still looking for a couple of quest items. The Silver Harp hasn't been found yet, and yeah, I guess that's it. Erdrich's armor can be in a chest as well, so it's worth checking out these 2 chests while you're here. And then, of course, if you get all 5 chests, the gold glitch will be automatically activated. So,
ooh, DK has found Cantlin, the proverbial shopping mall. So he's gonna do a little bit of looking around real quick, possibly pick up his chainmail, and then what he's probably might do if he has the key, he probably might go and see the idiot cores here in Cantlin.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, there's the programming for the randomizer sort of there's a bias towards putting items on the search spots. So finding the coordinates, that's one of the 3 search spots. You'll learn where on the overworld there potentially could be an item. So this is a pretty big find, yeah. Now it could be the fairy flute, which is usually not really required. But if there are coordinates and it's not the fairy flute, then you're looking at something important, like the armor or the harp. But no, he just doesn't go there. Maybe he doesn't have keys yet, Sinister. Does DK not have keys?
He probably hasn't been inside Rimbledar to get those keys.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. So now that's another place that he's going to have to remember and come all the way back to Cantlin after getting keys. You like to be able to do these things while you're there, right? But if you visit Cantlin, you don't have keys, well, you have to come back here later then and get those coordinates.
Oh, Scorpions with the bad news. They also picked up Big Daddy's flamethrower, so even Scorpions are giving people the business. Bring out the flames. The devil is out and he is not playing games.
Yeah, how many enemies is that now that we've seen with DL2 breath? It's at least 2, right? So, yeah, usually, sometimes you can go through a whole seed and never see it. But yeah, it's, enemies are not that friendly this time.
Hold on. Big Slamoo realized that he pulled up, he got a glitch gold state. Guess what he's doing? He's getting money. He is printing money.
Yeah, and we saw him just 5 minutes ago in the shop in Breckenary looking at what's for sale there. So you know that he knows that there's a magic armor and a silver shield. So you need about 23 grand here. He can print that up in less than a minute from here. And just, it's a quick walk from here to Breckenary and he will be outfitted to the gills.
He'll be out get it with the best gear that money can buy until he finds that armor, and then he's topped off, ready to go and take down a Dragon Lord. Meanwhile, unfortunately, Star Waverances bring Stag back to death. Level 10. Here we go. 9207 and a new spell. Hurt more at 10. Flames.
So DK actually, despite the fact that he has been at an exploration disadvantage, not having the sword until last, and now he's going to be the last one to get keys, I guess, or close to it. He's, I would say, in the lead, because when you have hurt more and you have good attack power, I mean, you can just increase that lead now for the next 5 or 10 minutes until everybody else catches up.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We have not found Garanham, and we have not found Mountain Cave, and we have not found, more importantly, Hawk's Nest.
Yeah, the third of those 3 search spots we were talking about is in Hawk's Nest, guarded by a Guardian. So if that happens to be a Red Dragon Guardian who's packing the DL2 breath, well, like we were saying before, if he's guarding the Erdrich's armor, that's going to be a tricky fight. So we'll cross that bridge later.
Yeah, right now, magic armor and silver shield for Slamu. Slamu has been armed. Now, every 4 steps he'll get 1 health with the magic armor. It ain't Erdrich's armor, so you can't get all the benefits that Erdrich brings to the table. But it's not going to matter until he goes and get it. Right now, though, it looks like DK is giving the AK-47 the business.
It's really good armor, though, for this stage in the game. I mean, so it's 4 less defense points than the Erdrich's armor will eventually bring, and it actually does reduce hurt more damage. Now, we haven't seen a lot of enemies throwing hurt more around, but it's something, you know. And like you said, there's a little bit of heal walking with the magic armor, so it's a pretty nice pickup. One of the other things that the high defense power does for you is it does what we call defense breaking monsters, where they fall in, if they're not able to do enough damage to you because you have such strong armor, there's a different formula then that calculates damage, and it ends up being very little damage that you end up taking from sometimes pretty strong monsters. So defense can be a really important aspect here for that reason. It also, when they pick up the repel spell, it helps you repel a lot more monsters if you have more defense.
Indeed, but here's where things get a little bit interesting here. Elmore is getting herbs, and more importantly, the police has put them back in his place. So seeing that last chest in the grave might be it might be orphan, and if that is the armor, oh boy.
Interesting that Elmore St. James decided to walk all the way around to the item shop in Cole, which is a pretty long walk, but he had some things there, I guess, that he really wanted to buy, so he's gotten that out of the way. Picked up a Dragon Scale, 2 more defense power for him. But yeah, he is falling a little bit behind DK and Big Slamu now, just not keeping pace with the experience, so just, you know, and in this seed, it seems like it's hard to find gold for a little while.
Hold on a second. Stags has found Garanham.
Yeah, and he has keys, so he's going straight into the back where we have a fighter's ring, among other things. That's 2 more attack power, which he puts on immediately, which is a good move.
He got himself a torch, and he's found another key, so he got a refund on the key. So we need to figure out where Garanham is at. It looks
and
like
what's going to be back here? I think it has to be, at this point,
the Mountain Cave.
Yeah, or did we see Tablet Cave yet? It's definitely one of those 2, yeah.
Tablet Cave.
Okay, it's right. Tablet Cave this time, and I think he has the outside spell, so this will be a pretty quick trip. Yeah, they started with the outside spell. So there's 1 chest in here for free. There are no monsters in here. So he'll get this chest. It could still be the Silver Harp. It's unlikely, but it could be.
Yeah, let's see the outside check. That is a key, so he gets extra keys.
Yeah, it's tough because you have to check these things while you're there, but you know that most likely the items you're looking for now are going to be on those search spots. We got to find Hawk's Nest, which nobody's found yet. That's one of
Well,
our search spots. And then if anybody can actually get to those coordinates, we've seen a couple of people in Cantlin without keys, Sinister, so they're going to have to get back there and get coordinates because, Erdrich's armor may be just laying on the overworld somewhere, maybe even close to home. But you have to find out exactly where by talking to that old man in Cantlin.
yeah, the idiot in Cantlin named Cores. But right now, it looks like Stags. It seems like Cantlin's to the west. So everything is westbound.
Yeah, it makes for some pretty long walks. I think we saw somebody find Charlock earlier, right? And that wasn't that close either. You have to walk a pretty long ways.
Yeah,
So sometimes that comes into play. If you're at a borderline level, Sinister, and you're like, should I try and go dive the Dragon Lord? Well, if it took you 10 minutes to walk all the way to Charlock, and you're thinking in your mind, well, if I die in here, this race is over. Like, it's going to take me forever to get all the way back to Charlock. So yeah, those things you have to just keep all that in mind when you find these things.
Yeah, and looks like we may have found the mountain cave-ish, but DK is being stubborn right now. And he okay, so southwest of Rimeldar is possibly the mountain cave.
So we have a question in chat from Guelph, just got in. So how bad are the stats? From what I've seen, I think the attack power is actually coming along pretty nicely. We saw a double-digit gain. We saw a couple of 8s and 9s on attack power. I think level 10 yielded hurt more for DK 9146, so he's got hurt more. I haven't really noticed how bad the agility is. I think it's pretty average. So I think the stats are actually okay. It's just a matter of, they're just not finding the last few things on the map right now.
Towns are really spread out this seed. They are not having any fun walking. Left, right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So, yeah. Charlock is to the southwest, or maybe directly south of Tantegel, but you're going to have to go through some swamp. Stags has finally made his way over to the grave, so he'll be getting his necklace of death. And he does have keys, so he might go and do a little bit of extra exploration while Big Samu is about to see himself a stone man and see if he can punch him in the face.
So a pretty big development, Sinister, is that DK9146, who had that experience lead, and then he has extended it, obviously, because he's the first one to get hurt more. He finally got to Rimeldar and got keys, so now he's got to catch up on what some of the other runners have already done. He's got to get back and check the treasury at home. He's got to get back to Cantlin, which he's already seen, to try and get those coordinates. So he's got a lot of places now, that have opened up when he finally now got keys. So he's got some backtracking to do, but he still has the experience lead.
Hold on a second. Okay. Mountain Cave might be right next to Charlock. From what I'm looking at right now, this may be a one-continent seed, because Charlock is south from Tantegel, but it's also southeast from Rimeldar. So it might just be a big one-continent seed.
Yeah, that's always fun when you figure that out as a runner, and sometimes it's like, well, maybe the Swamp Cave can be used as a shortcut anyways, especially since from the castle you can cast outside and go through. But otherwise, it may be actually faster to walk by land, and like the Swamp Cave's kind of taking you out of the way a little bit. So it's trying to put the geography together while you're running a race can be kind of tricky. And so if it is one continent, like you're thinking, that'll be important for the runners to figure out.
But we do have to remember right now, we still have not found the armor or the silver harp. And it looks like Stags got ambushed by the deputy, and he is sent home free of charge. Silver harp and Mountain Cave.
Oh, Mountain Cave, yep. Mountain Cave is where the harp was. We're still looking for the armor, which I'm thinking is probably going to be on one of those 2 search spots. Because how many chests are left to open, Sinister? I think this bottom chest in the mountain cave might be the last one that we haven't seen.
There is still the grave, the bottom chest of the grave.
Oh, he didn't get all the way to the bottom?
Remember, Slamu got flamethrowered by a regular scorpion.
He didn't get to the bottom. Okay, I thought he had cleared it. Okay, good catch. There's one more chest at the bottom of the grave. That would be interesting if it happens to be down there.
And DK kills yet another metal slime. And yes, the armor in this. Yes, the armor can be in Sharlock. Thanks to 2.2, yes.
Yep, that's true.
The armor can be in Sharlock, so there is a possibility that they're going to get quite a bit of pain before they can go get the armor, but it's not.
Yeah, I'm trying to think now that you mentioned that. How many cursed belts have we actually seen? Because there was one right in the very beginning in the throne room, and so that would match up with the sword that we saw in Cole. If there were any other search spots, that would tell you that the armor for sure is either on the overworld or in the in Hawksness. I guess unless it's the fairy flute, right? So nobody's found the fairy flute yet either. So, I guess we don't know anything for sure.
There was one more curse belt sighting. I don't remember who had it, but it was at least one more. But here's where it gets a little interesting. Where's
Hawksness? Nobody's seen Hawksness.
Yeah, that's right.
You really need that at some point soon. I mean, it's so likely for important items to be on the search spots. So DK upgrades that harp to the staff. He's the first one to do that because obviously he was the first one to grab the harp out of the mountain cave. So all he needs for items now is those stones of sunlight, which a couple of our runners have already gotten.
That's back at the treasury, so when he gets sent back home, he'll get his stones of sunlight.
Ah, really? He hasn't done that yet. Okay, I guess he just hasn't been sent back yet. Very good.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
He's extending his.
What's interesting about that too? It'll work out well for him because the jerk cave is in the back of Tantagle. So when he happens to die and goes back home, he'll have all 3 items. You know, once he picks up the stones out of the treasury, he can just go right back into the basement and get the rainbow drop first try.
He makes it back to Caitlin, and Garenham is due north by northwest from Caitlin. So everything is on this side of the world, on the west side of the world, except Hawksness. We don't know where that's at yet.
Yeah, DK definitely setting up for finally going and checking out these coordinates. He's just topping off on herbs and everything. But, wait. Okay. Did he already get the coordinates? What is he doing?
No, he didn't get coordinates yet. He's about to check it out.
He maybe just remembered. He exited the town, and I was like, all right, wait a minute. Got to get the coordinates. So here we go. Finally, somebody's going to check this out. And he's taking some damage here because he doesn't have Erdrich's armor.
All right, Cords, let's see what you got. And from Cords, we have 40 South, 56 West. That's a princess.
Yeah, I haven't figured out where that would be, if that's walkable or not, but the princess is close to home, so, I mean, you might as well go there because DK has hurt more, and you might want to know what that spike tile is anyways over in the swamp cave, in case there's any more grinding to be done. So first he's going to check the treasury, and then I think he's going to go grab his rainbow drop, because he's going to want to go see what's in the basement. So that'll just work out perfectly for DK. He'll have his rainbow drop. The only thing he'll need is Erdrich's armor. So, you know, might want to go grab that princess out of the swamp cave and track that down, because if that's the armor, he'll be in grinding go.
Well, here's the thing though, we have not found Hawksnest yet, and there's still a fairy flute still floating about. So this could be interesting to see what happens from here. And it looks like Stags is going back into the grave. So
Metal slime sighting for Stags. This would help him tremendously. It would jump him all the way to level 10, which is, I think, the Hurtmore level. So if he could take this metal slime down, he's got a couple of swings in. I think he needs one more hit. He gets him. Jump to level 10. That's huge for Stags. I'm pretty sure, I guess we'll watch now, but I'm pretty sure he is about to learn the Hurt More spell here. Big time kill there, killing that metal slime. There we go. And he's going to open up the chests in the grave while he's at it. And as we figured, DK is on his way to go rescue this princess. He wants to see what this spike tile is anyways. If it happens to be an Axe Knight on this spike tile, we might see some grinding for a while as well.
Possibly. But here's where things get a little bit interesting. We're going... Oh, wait a minute. Slamu just went and picked up a princess.
Oh, I missed what the spike tile was. We're about to find out anyways. On DK screen, it's a Stone Man. And they do have sleep, so this should be... And they have heal more, so unless the Stone Man has some tricks up its sleeve, this is an easy victory.
Yeah, one would call this free.
So I didn't catch if Slamu already went and got the coordinates or if this is like a preemptive princess rescue, but regardless, he's about to go. He has the outside spell if he wants to use it. He's going to go back through the Stone Man spike and maybe pick up some more experience.
Yeah, maybe. And also remember, he may not have returned.
Yeah, I guess I just saw the spell list quickly. Maybe they don't have return. But if he wanted to skip the Stone Man fight here, he could have cast outside right away. But then from there, yeah, you'd have to like walk back through the swamp cave or something. If you don't have any wings, that's the other way to go. But haven't noticed anybody finding any wings in any chests yet, so... he just wanted to pick up this level, probably. He was one Stone Man away, so he picks up level 11. Now he's all set. And he does have wings. Heads up play by Slamu, so using the wings, gonna return the princess. She's officially rescued. She's very happy. The king is happy. She's gonna give him a special tool to be used to track down the overworld item as a token of her love for being rescued out of the dragon's lair here.
AKA the GPS, or Gwaelin Positioning System.
And DK is right behind with his own princess in hand. He's going to stop off at the magic refill station here.
He gonna get himself some potions and get himself a drink. And now, here's where things get ugly. Looks like Slamu's gonna have to go back to the mountain cave and check out where the coordinates are in relation to where she is at. And this will also put into perspective how far south we're looking. Because if my suspicions are correct, they're going to the southwest if they're going to do swamp south to get to swamp north.
Elmore St. James is having kind of a rough race here. I just looked at his screen and he had just gotten killed by a blue dragon that had hit him for like 40-something damage, and he gets sent back home. You look at his tracker there and he has almost no items found, where everybody else has almost filled up their screens there with items. So he's just fallen behind with finding all the necessary quest items. He's not yet gotten to level 10, which is the big Hurt More level. So, just kind of a tough road here for uphill battle for Elmore St. James. But, he's just going to continue on and see how it goes.
All right, so far...
Do we have a couple of other runners off stream, too? I wasn't able to get into the race room, so I'm not sure if anybody else is involved or not, but...
That I don't know. Alright, so from Gwaelin... Oh, I was correct. It is a one continent because Tantijo from here is to the north.
Okay, cool. One continent confirmed. That always makes things interesting. So you have an option of either going through Swamp Cave or just walking, and doing it that way. So that is interesting.
Bannerstreff off stream is the only other racer right now.
Okay. Yeah, this was kind of a rescheduled race here, so it's not surprising. But very, very good competition here. All these runners giving us a good show. And DK All he needs is Erdrich's armor, and he is just trying to track down those coordinates. What is it, 50 in one direction, 40 in the other? He's got the GPS. He's getting close.
40 south, 56 west.
He's getting a little low on resources. Hopefully he can actually get to the item before running out completely.
Alright, he's closing the gap, so he should be able to figure this out real quick.
He's doing some math. He's going to check it again. This can be confusing because the princess tells you kind of in the opposite direction from what the coordinates are. She says where the castle is, basically.
Oh no! The coordinates have a fairy flute!
It is the fairy flute. So, have we seen the bottom chest in the grave? Because if it's not there, we're looking at armor and Charlock, which can be kind of nasty. We also, haven't seen Hawk's Nest, right? So yeah, there's a good chance that it's there. And if it's guarded by a red dragon with Dragon Lord Breath, good luck. Here's Hawk's Nest finally for Big Slamoo.
Yeah, in a swamp. Ugh. So, here we go. And in the tile, there is a golem.
Yeah, he doesn't have the flute. I think DK is the only one that tracked it down. The golem is... He'll go to sleep if you have the flute. I don't know if Big Slamoo has any shot here. Unless he gets a crit, but no.
Yeah, Slamoo's gonna get smacked in the face.
Just didn't have any MP. He had the 5 MP, hoping it was like an Axe Knight. He had 1 Hurt More, but the golem is almost completely immune from the Hurt More spell. It packs a punch that's very high HP in the randomizer, so no chance.
Speed Gaming 2, thank you for the raid of 97.
Alright, welcome everybody. You're watching weekly Standard Flags Dragon Warrior Randomizer race. We have 4-way action on screen and maybe some more runners off screen. We are probably more than halfway through here. You can see in the bottom right, DK9146 already has his rainbow drop. He's got a couple of locations left to check to try and find Erdrich's armor, the last of the important things that he needs before taking on the Dragon Lord. We got Big Slamoo going other directions, needs, I think, 1 more quest item to get his rainbow drop. So, yeah, things are great. Welcome, everybody. We will see how this goes from here.
Alrighty, so right now, we are going to do a bit of a rundown at 58 minutes for all you raiders out there and people who have missed what's going on. Here we go. Silver Harp was up in Mountain Cave on the 2nd floor. The Fairy Flute is at 40 south, 56 west. The token is in Stones were in Tantegel. Token was with the nice guy. Death Necklace was also in the grave. The sword was at Cole. So right now the armor is still at large and is likely at Hawk's Nest. If it's not in Hawk's Nest or in this grave, we can safely say we are going to check some places. And once again, somebody got booted. Well, right now DK is the only person who's checking out to see if this armor is in the cave. So in the grave. So give us a bit. We will find out.
Yeah, there were some enemies in the bottom sections of the grave here that sent some of the other runners home, right, with some Dragon Lord Breath, so he's a little bit further along with levels and that sort of thing, so he has a better chance to survive the trip to the bottom chest here, although he's getting a little shaky on this Demon Knight, but yeah, so if he gets to the chest and it's not the armor, we're looking at the Golem is guarding the spot in Hawk's Nest. And if it's not there, it's going to be in Charlock. So armor and Charlock is always pretty tricky. Like, what do? Do you grind extra levels? Do you dive twice? Go dive for the armor and then get out and go back in? It's always a little tricky.
And we found fairy water. Ooh. If it ain't on that golem, we're diving in Charlock. And people's already... And
where was Hawk's Nest anyway? I think only Big Slamoo has found it. So DK is the one that has the fairy flute, so he can take on that golem much more easily. We saw Big Slamoo just didn't have any way to win that fight. So we still don't know what the golem is guarding. And if it's the armor, then all the questions are answered. But if it's not, then it's going to be tricky.
Hawk's Nest was it was in a very deep swamp. The problem is it was probably to the west past Mountain Cave, because that's the only logical place I can suspect where Hawk's Nest was at. So southwest of Mountain Cave likely is where Hawk's Nest is at.
All right, Elmore St. James is in Garenham now. Looks like he maybe still doesn't have keys either, unless, not sure if that's all up to date, but he was just checking out the weapon shop, didn't really see anything there that he could afford. He does have that Hurt More level now, so he has been making progress since we checked in with him before. And I'm going to see now if he actually does go into the back here, if he has keys or not. If you don't have keys when you find Garenham, it's kind of sad, because you have to just exit. Yeah, he doesn't have keys, wow. Yeah, it's kind of rough. Still somehow has not found Rimuldar, I guess.
Okay, the Mountain Cave was in a desert, and right now, Beta Strep is at level 14. He's also looking for Hawk's Nest. So this is the question. Is the armor in Hawk's Nest?
And DK9146 seems to be just wanting to take a death. Or what is this? Is he in these... Is this Swamp South? Where is he?
He's still in the grave.
That is a stairway coming out of the grave. Okay. So he wants to take a death warp here because he knows where that silver shield is, I guess. In Breckenary. So he will have a gold grind on his mind. He full cleared the grave here, right? So gold grind is in effect. That's a pretty late silver shield to be getting, right? But he was almost out of resources anyway, so yeah, makes sense to me. Just go back home, grind the money, get the silver shield. It's right next door.
Yeah, and right now, here's the problem. If nobody can find, and once again, the police is out, 773346. Stags has been pulled over. He didn't have his license. He's going home.
What's tough too about that is, so they have the heal more spell. Sometimes you can you can out heal it and eventually you run away. But I don't think they have a lot of hit points. So level 11, Stags only has like 62 hit points. So you can't really just like heal your way out of the Red Dragon, who's probably hitting you still for 40 or 45 damage. So when you see that Red Dragon, and the Dragon Lord Breath can hit you for 72, right? So yeah. That's not a good situation.
Here's the thing. DK at level 13 is at 8455. Put that in perspective.
Those aren't great stats. Yeah, they have a ways to go for go time. You're going to want usually triple digit HP, so he has a ways to go for that. And 55 MP is really low. That's not a lot of heal mores that you can cast. So we're going to need some levels, yeah. So what did we have for grind options? We have a Stone Man in the Swamp Spike tile, and there's a Golem in the Hawk's Nest tile, which is apparently not very close to anything anyways. So how are they going to get these levels? If, let's say, they need to go to like level 18 or something, where are they going to go get these levels?
Well, right now, once DK gets his magic armor silver shield combination, he needs to find Hawk's Nest. And for him, he does have the fairy flute. So he can technically, slow as it may be, put the golem down.
Yeah, I just don't think the golem is very close to anything. Like, there's no inn nearby. And, like, I mean, he hasn't even found Hawk's Nest yet, right? So it's probably in the middle of nowhere somewhere.
Yeah, and Big Samu has been sent home by the park rangers.
What? Who are the park rangers? I missed it.
Those are the green dragons.
Man, yeah, it's not a good day when you're getting sent home by green dragons this late in the race, so that's not good. Do they have any abilities? Do they have sleep or something? I missed it. I didn't see that death, but that's unfortunate for Big Samu. And probably, I guess they still don't have the repel spell, so he's running into red slime still on the overworld, which is really irritating when you're over an hour into the race and you got to put up with red slimes. Here's another red slime for Big Samu.
It's gonna be to the southwest. So if Hawk's Nest is to the southwest, here's where things get a little bit sketch. The only one who has the fairy flute right now is DK, and DK is determined to not make his behind go west.
He's just checking out all the rest of the map that's nearby, I guess, and I'm not sure if from his perspective if he is still missing anything else, any other locations that he hasn't found. He's obviously seen the Staff of Rain cave and the Rainbow Drop cave. He's got his Rainbow Drop. He's cleared out both dungeons for sure. He has done the Tablet cave, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what else he's looking for at this point.
Hawks. He's looking for Hawk's Nest.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only place left, I guess. I think he has seen Sharlock at this point too, right? So
yes, he's seen Sharlock. He needs to find Hawk's Nest, and he is desperately looking.
It's funny because he has the Rainbow Drop. So here's the other option for you, Sinister. What would you do if? So you have the Rainbow Drop. You have no idea where Hawk's Nest is, but you know where Sharlock is. There are 7 chances for the armor to actually be in Sharlock, and there are some nice experienced enemies. Would you ever consider just taking your Rainbow Drop and going to look for the armor now in Sharlock? Like, who knows where Hawk's Nest is? Maybe it'll be 20 minutes before you could ever find Hawk's Nest. But you know where Sharlock is.
Not at the cost of 90. Not at the cost of 90 health, and then meet up with the Red Dragons who have Big Daddy 2 flamethrowers.
Yeah, you don't know like what is lying in Sharlock. It could be pretty brutal. That's true.
And right now it looks like no wonder the park rangers also have the flamethrower.
That's what got Slamu. I was wondering, there had to be some reason why he was dying to a green dragon. So now Slamu is finally going to get his coordinates, and unfortunately, I guess he's just figuring that this is going to lead him to the armor. What else is he looking for? He still has... No, he just hasn't gotten his Rainbow Drop. Or does he... You remember that Staff of Rain cave that I think Big Slamu found in like the first 10 minutes? He just maybe hasn't upgraded. Maybe he doesn't remember where it is.
Nah, he got his staff. He got his staff.
Where is it? Oh, he does have the staff. Okay, so he can get the Rainbow Drop at any time. So yeah, he just happens to be getting the coordinates and hoping that that's the armor, and it's just not going to work out well for him. That's going to be the Fairy Flute.
All right, we have found Hawk's Nest. Hawk's Nest is to the southwest of likely Cantlin. So right now, this is gonna be the moment of truth. Are we diving Sharlock?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that it is a possibility if you've been looking around on the map. But yeah, so first, DK is gonna be... He doesn't have a lot of MP to work with here. He's gonna need some good flute luck here. He has 1 heal more, or is that 18? Is it the 10 or an 18? I can't tell. For his MP, he might have like 1 heal more.
He has 1 heal. He has 1 heal more, and right now he is going to get punched in the face. He does have a little bit of health, so he got the golem.
He's got really good attack power right now. So it stayed asleep a few turns. That was an it's the Nothing Burger, and he realizes now that he's got nothing left to do but grind levels. So he's just going straight back to the golem. And with the Fairy Flute strats, this is a reasonable grind if it'll just stay asleep for you. He has pretty good attack power. What he doesn't have is the HP and the MP. So, right now, I mean, if he's like 3-shotting or 4-shotting a golem, that's 255 each. But he just hopes that it stays asleep, because they hit really hard when they wake up.
And he's getting his 255, but here's the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, Yahtzee! We are going into Sharlock. So
yeah, time to play the pyramid game. Remember the pyramid game? Where is the armor, guys? Which chest is it in?
I'm going to say I'm going to go with my favorite $200 pyramid chest where that armor is going to be. So I'm almost certain that right now DK is probably trying to use up all his resources, get sent back home, and then make a beeline straight to Sharlock. Because he has no other options. 14. Here we go. We have 4, 3, 0, and 2. I love it.
So that's 4 more attack power. I haven't seen anybody's status window recently, but I think that he is probably already there with attack power. Again, he just doesn't have the hit points, so he will need more levels. And, you know, MP is pretty low as well. So I'm going to go with the 150 chest, which is the rightmost chest down there in the treasury in Sharlock, because that's the one I always check last, so of course it'll be there. Our tracker Kemion Renakai has been doing a great job. I think he's tracking all 4 races by himself, which is an amazing feat. He's going to go with the $50 chest, he's saying in chat, so that's the bottom left chest. What else does everybody guess?
Okay, so here's an interesting play. If I was right now, it looks like okay, we didn't get a chance to check out those stats, but right now, Rogue Scorpion and Rogue Scorpion with stop spell, so it looks like Rimbledar is near Sharlock, so that's a really interesting play here.
Yeah, I mean, he could just start diving into Sharlock now, looking for the armor. He doesn't have the stats, obviously, to win, but he does have hurt more and heal more. I mean, he can beat most Sharlock enemies, and there's good experience by doing that. So maybe try and dive down to the treasury to get your armor now. And, you know, your hurt mooring, your green dragons, and your star wyverns, and your werewolves, and whatever's in here. And you're just getting some experience. So yeah, that's exactly what DK is doing. He's just going to look for the armor now. And he's going to try and do this in 2 dives. The other way that you might sometimes go about this, if there's a really good grind available, is to actually get your levels now, and maybe get like an extra level, so that you got like 3 or 4 extra heal mores, and then you just go in and try and do it all in 1 dive, and just, you know, you're taking damage from these floor tiles, but, you know, it just costs you a couple of heal mores, and if you can get down there, you can just finish it off in 1 dive. But we don't have a good grind spot available. So right now, you're just better off coming into Sharlock. He's going to hurt more of these Axe Knights. There's, you know, this is definitely the right play from DK.
Oh, Lorgon just gave us some insight. 15 is big. Like, he strep killed his 4th metal slime off camera, so he's thinking, so level 15 according to Lorgon is big. So we're going to be looking at level 15 along the way.
Yeah, DK needs about 1,000 more experience. It's at 7,500. We'll get to level 15. Among other things, he absolutely needs to gain hit points. We're not going to be beating the Dragon Lord with hit points in the 80s, basically, no matter what. He's going to go after this Golem with flute strats, because it is worth 255. And it's a thing where some of the other enemies, you know, you're trying to do this dive on low MP Kemion, right? Or on Sinister, right? So if you hurt more like 3 or 4 Axe Knights, all of a sudden you don't have enough MP to get down to the treasury. And already I think he's at that point where he's not going to make it to the... Yeah, he's just going the other way now. He realized, I'm not going to make it down there on this dive, so I better just go out and go back to an inn or something. So it's tough to do this on a low MP situation. This is kind of rough.
Yeah, and the deputy is making his life absolute heck. So, yeah, he's going to be sitting on some problems. So, he's going to be leaving, and he's going to go... he's going to beat up a wizard on the way out the door,
So Big Slamu just beat the Golem in Hawksness and just searched the spot, and he saw the Nothing Burger there. Immediately goes for 1 more Golem, because that's going to be enough for level 14 for Big Slamu, and then we'll have to see what he wants to do, because I'm not sure if he actually tracked down the coordinates yet. I know he got the coordinates, I just don't know. He got the flute, yeah. So Big Slamu is done. So he and DK are now in the same situation. It's just that DK has a little bit of an experience lead now. But they're both in go mode. They know where the armor is, and it's just go time, basically. They're just grinding.
Yeah, that's basically the big thing here, and Stag's about to get the bad news that his fairy flute is on the overworld.
guess Stags is just now getting the coordinates. He doesn't know that it leads to the fairy flute, but he'll probably be tracking that down eventually. Like, so now he's got to go get the princess, and then he's going to go track it down, and it's all going to be for nothing, right? So it's you can see sometimes in these longer seeds how many steps are involved. It's like, oh, I got to get keys somehow. So a lot of people didn't have keys when they find Cantland, right? So then you can't talk to the old man. So now I got to go back, I got to get keys. Then I got to go back to Cantland, get these coordinates. Then I got to go and try and beat a stone man and get the princess. And it all just leads you to the fairy flute. And it's like, oh. So that's what's happening in this seed.
Level 15, here we go. 7, 2, 19, 10, and a spell.
Alright, so he has attack power in the 140s. He has enough hit points now. I'm not sure. He gained, what, 10 magic points? So we'll see after he uses the inn here. He's going to have... how many magic points is the key? So, 8 heal mores.
Yeah, he has 8 heal mores.
So, it's actually really borderline in terms of beating the Dragon Lord. But what's going to happen now is he's going to do this in 2 dives anyways. He's going to go down and try and get the armor. And then, while he's doing that, he might end up getting 16. And it'll just be a lot more straightforward.
Or maybe not. He probably doesn't want to get the armor. He's probably going to grind on stone men.
Oh, that's the other option, is you could just get an extra level on the stone man, yeah. That's where he's going. Okay, good call, man. I'm not sure if I would do it that way. I'm not sure what he saw in Sherlock that scares him off of the going back in there. This is kind of a slow grind, this stone man, but... Well, yeah, he's going to try and do it on 1 dive. That's what it's telling me. He's going to be like, if I can get, like, 20 more magic points or something, because, we're due for a nice gain on magic, then we'll be like, we'll have extra. We'll be able to go down and do it in 1 dive.
Well, here's the thing. Remember, 2 of our 3 dragons, which is not the Pimp Lord, has the big flamethrower. So DK is probably spooked that when he saw that blue dragon on his way out the door, he's thinking green dragons are pretty common, and possibly the police. So the park rangers and the police, they are packing heat. So he is spooked on that. So he's going to get that level.
Wait, what did the blue dragon have? What was that?
Just punch you in the face. They just got the comms.
Yeah, I mean, that's yeah. I don't know. I'm still not sure about this play. I feel like now that you just got that big level, I don't know. I think I would be going in and trying to get the armor here. And I'm someone that sometimes does try to do this on 1 dive, but I just don't feel like this is the right grind. Like, if there was a very fast grind and you could get, because there's no guarantee that 16 is going to give you a huge boost. And what you want to do, if you want to do it on 1 dive, you're going to need like 3 or 4 extra heal mores, right? Because you're going to be taking the floor tile damage and all that. I don't know that you're guaranteed to get that on 16, and then it's like, well, am I going to get more extra levels and other people are just going to win on 15? I don't know.
Yeah, but from what we've seen right now, 15 is not the level. 16 is probably going to be that level.
Well, no, you can win on 15 if you had the armor already. But, I mean, it's pretty borderline, though. But if you don't have the armor, you definitely can't do it on 1 dive. Like, it's too borderline. So... to me, like, I want to go get that armor, because if 16 is just nothing, you want to be able to go for it. Like, you have to have the armor if you're going to go for it. But he's not going for the armor, he's going for the stone man. So, we'll see how this works out for him.
So, what's the threshold we need this time?
Yeah, he's got to get all the way up to 9750 for experience. So, levels are starting to get further and further apart now. Yeah, to go from 15 to 16, it's 2250 additional experience. So it's got to go from 7,500 all the way up to 9,750. Stone Man's only worth 155 each, so we're looking at still like another like 8 or 9 Stone Man victories before he gets this level. It's gonna be a while.
Yeah, and it looks like Big Slamu has had enough. He's gonna go and get his candy, and what he might do, he might go down there.
Look at how much ground Big Slamu has gained on DK. They're on the same level now. He's
Yeah,
getting
but
his drop now, and so they're basically at the same situation, just the 1,000 point lead.
indeed, but here's where things get a little bit sketchy. If this continues on, and Slamu does get his armor and grind on the way to while in Sherlock, that's gonna give him the information he needs.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying is that so let's say they do the opposite thing. So if Big Slamu decides to go diving for the armor and DK is grinding for the level, what it's going to come down to is how good is level 16. So if level 16 is huge, then DK will have the advantage because he'll be able to go down and do it in one dive, whereas Big Slamu is not going to be able to do it on one dive. But if level 16 is a blank, then Slamu will already have the armor, and so then he'll have the advantage. So we'll see in about 4 more Stoneman victories if this level 16 is going to be a big one, or if it's just a blank. Yeah, Slamu is near Sherlock. He's just taking an in. I think he's going right now. He's going to dive for the armor. So interesting divergence here between those two. And our other 2 runners have some catching up to do now. We have Elmore St. James finally into the treasury, doing a bit of a gold grind here. Probably looking to get that silver shield out of Breckenary. And Stags in the bottom left is a little further along and has all 3 quest items, has all the equipment, just trying to track down that armor. He just recently got those coordinates, right? So he's got to do the princess rescue, he's got to track down the overworld spot, and he's a level or 2 behind. So here goes Slamu into Sherlock while DK is about to get the level. Did he get the level?
He didn't get the level yet. He stepped out early.
Oh my god, he's like so close.
Yeah, he's gonna try to go to it. He's gonna try to take the level while going to Sherlock.
Okay, that's a good play because this Axe Knight's gonna give him the level, and the inn is like just 10 steps to the west. The town is like right near here, so he'll get the level, and
here we go.
And he's all set up to go straight in.
One
Only 1 power. Ooh, if there's not a lot of magic. Ooh, there is a lot of magic though. Now.
No,
is
that's not
enough to do it on 1 dive though? Sinister. I don't think so. 144. No. What was the magic points?
Magic is looking like 80, like.
Oh, not even 70 something, right?
No, it was in the 80s because it was 70 beforehand.
No, I was 60 something before. Yeah, Chad is confirming it's only 77 MP now. I don't think he can do this on 1 dive now. This is what I was afraid of. And so now he has to either go back and grind more Stonemen and go all the way up to 17, or he's got to go start diving for the armor, like behind where Big Slamu is now, because Big Slamu is already in there trying to get the armor. So that was kind of a gamble going to the Stoneman, I think, and it wasn't a big enough level. 1 power, that's not going to get it done.
Well, he's already at 144, so it's not even a matter of the 1 power. The power doesn't even matter. He's already hitting for 11 to 22.
And he is going to an item shop now. I wonder if he's going to... No, never mind.
Hello, Raiders from Speed Gaming 4 with the rate of 62.
Man, I actually think Big Slamu is actually in the lead in this race now. It's so interesting what just happened, because he is on his way to get the armor. He still has 51 MP, and he's halfway through the 2nd zone. He's a favorite to get all the way to the treasury, unless he like runs into a red dragon and just can't get away.
Yeah, but here's a bone-chilling thought that just came into my head. What if our armor has got swapped with the sword? What if it's actually at the table?
Yeah, the judge's table armor. Well, I mean, Big Slamu will be the first one to get that information. It's interesting. I think it's very situational if you go for the 1 dive strategy or if you go for the early dive to get the armor strategy. I just feel like in this situation, it's going to work out better for Big Slamu. He's going to get this armor right now, and he's going to be able to just come right back in on potentially try to win right now on 15. Or, he's halfway to 16. He might just get it on the way and win on 16. And DK is... let's see what DK is doing now. He still hasn't gone in to Sharlock.
DK is spooked. From what I'm looking at right now, he is spooked. He is scared.
I don't know what just happened. He was already taking in. He hasn't really gotten any more experience. What did he just do in the last couple of minutes?
He went back and forth between towns. He is scared, as one would say.
Trying to do the math in his head or something. It's so hard to get there on this one dive. You just don't have enough magic. You burn like 2 heal mores just getting through these damage tiles on this top floor. That's the big problem. You're just taking so much damage. You have not a lot of heal walking. You have a little bit with the magic armor, but not a lot. Oof, I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, if he pulls this off with a single dive, that'll be very impressive. He's using herbs as if he's trying to win on this dive. So, can he do it? I don't know. And he's running from enemies. He's trying to do it on this dive. It's so thin. These resources are so thin to try this right now.
Yeah, he's playing it dangerously close.
Yeah, it's just super tough. He's down to like 2 herbs already because of all those damage tiles. 1 herb now. Oof. Yeah, this would be an incredible dive if he pulls this off.
If he can pull it off in this dive, he has the chance. But here's the thing, though. Slamu is fighting on the way down, and he's already defense-breaking Star Wavers.
Well, he's totally going with the 2-dive strategy. So he's been using MP, fighting monsters. He's going to get 16, and he's going to get the armor in about 1 minute because he's on the bottom floor. So this is a totally like a normal 2-dive strategy, getting the armor now. And then it's like a lock. Like he'll already have the armor, and he'll just be coming straight back in. He's already gotten intel on what monsters are in all 3 zones, so he knows now if he's going to have enough resources because he hasn't seen any really bad monsters in here yet.
Well, just the key. Just the key. 50 is the herb. $250 chest. The torch. $200 chest. The herb. $300 chest. Erdrich's armor on the 300. So who guessed 300? Congratulations. You win.
That's always like heart-stopping. Like, oh man, this is the last chest. Am I going to have to try and go upstairs to the judges' table? But no, it was in that top chest. And Big Slamu is actually going for... What is he doing?
He's probably going to check that spike tile up in
I hate this play.
Yeah,
he's trying to get the experience now.
He's trying to check. He's gonna check the bouncer before messing with the most man in all the land.
I hate it. I mean, there's a town right near Sharlock. You have the outside spell. Get out and come back in. It's like you got to be quick. What he's thinking is he wants to get the level now, so in case it's a big MP gain, then he's gonna take the in. And he's 1 victory away from getting the level. So, I mean, I can understand it. So. Decides not to step on the spike tile. This is weird.
Not yet.
Wants to get the level first.
He wants to see the level first.
I don't know about any of this.
Well, right now, though,
to be critical, though, I mean, it's fun. It's fun. Like we're all backseat drivers when we watch these races. So, they're all playing really well. It's a very interesting end game, and we're seeing runners do vastly different things. And DK is getting to the treasury, and he hasn't used. That I don't think has he not used any MP? I don't think I've ever seen anyone manage that.
Nah, he only used 3.
He actually got through all those damage tiles, and just all he needed to use was herbs. That's incredible. Yeah, he actually has a chance to win here with the 9 heal mores.
He's trying to do it right here, right now.
That is insane. I'm gonna have to rethink this now. I thought that it always cost you like 2 heal mores to come in without the armor.
No, because the herbs give you about 20 apiece.
Yep, he is running. Fortunately it's been a very fairly easy Sharlock, right? I don't think we've seen any red dragons or armored knights the whole way.
Yeah, but
Big Slamu what is Big Slamu doing with 6 heal mores? This seems ambitious.
Yeah,
he is the first to be fighting the Dragon Lord. Big Slamu is technically ahead.
Stone Man
If he can
on
win to hurt more here, Big Slamu will win. But
hold on, I gotta do my thing. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, here's the Dragon Lord.
Alright, swinging on 42, that makes sense. And he does not get the low attack, unfortunately, for Big Slamu. And so now we see DK actually has a real chance here. So let's see how the DL1 fight goes. It goes very well. For someone that had no herbs, he has all of his HP. This is like the dream scenario for DK. And he starts with a 20. Holy cow, I think he actually could pull this off.
He could. He has the attack power. He has the strength. All he needs to do is just follow through and not hit those 11s. Because remember, we're looking at 11 to 22 per swing. So if he's swinging for the fences, yeah, we're going to go and make this an early night. But there's that 11 showing its ugly head.
Elmore St. James is clearing out the mountain cave, and Stags on the lower left is entering Sharlock. DK is halfway through this fight. Can he get him?
He's doing the do. He's doing the do.
And Big Slamu has the armor, so now he is just gearing up to do a final dive.
But I'm thinking right now with that damage in 20, I'm thinking now this is DK's race to lose unless the dragon himself decides to have a lot of HP.
Yeah, I mean, this Sharlock went absolutely perfectly for him, including the mini-boss fight and the DL1 fight. He managed to not lose any resources.
GG!
He has done it. That is incredible. That was just a dream dive. So
get your GGs in the chat. Also, see if we can get an official SRL time, if that is even possible.
Congrats to DK9146. I think just a couple hours ago we saw on another race in the league, he had won his league race, right? And now he wins the weekly Sunday Standard Flags Weekly. GG. At least among the runners on screen here. Not sure if we have some runners off screen and how they've been doing, but nice job for DK. A little over an hour and a half. It was on the longer side for a seed. Everything, like you said, was really spread out. Single continent, armor and Sharlock. And he has done it. Hour and 33 minutes for a seed like that is very, very strong.
Super strong, if you ask me. So let's see if we can get DK for an interview. And I believe he won. Yeah, he won earlier today, actually, as well. But he was cutting that one a little close.
All right, chat confirming. I guess Beta Strep was off stream and did come in slightly ahead of DK. So congrats to Beta Strep on that victory. DK has outlasted all of our on-screen runners here. Congratulations, thou hast restored peace unto the world. Very nice. And we know Big Slamu is on his final dive. He has the armor already, so he's going in. Has a very good chance based on what we know about what's in Sharlock.
Looks like DK is probably getting himself set up first before he comes on in.
And then we have Stags, who's basically in grind and go mode. Not sure if he has all of the information to know that the armor's in Sharlock, but he is... looks like Stags is actually in Sharlock, level 14, just trying to do an armor dive, and he has kind of low resources. So we'll have to see if he actually gets to the treasury. And Elmore St. James still has a little work to do.
Hello, DK. Your journey has ended. How does it feel to be the first streamer to be done? Beta Strep barely beat you.
Yeah, that fun return instead of repel at the end wouldn't have got me the race, but it would have made it closer for him.
Yeah, How do you feel about going all the way to the $300 chest to get your armor and finding out that Hawk's Nest was an absolute bolo?
Well, it's never fun, especially when it's so far away. Everything was on that second continent. But I mean, it wasn't that bad of a seed, honestly. Things came along well. Just took a minute for that MP to try and come along at the end.
DK, just a little FYI, it was actually one continent. It was just big.
That's even better. I knew I had one little section on the first that I never went to, and then I had one section on the second I never went to. I guess that's where Tablet was hiding too.
Tablet was in the back of Garanham.
Was it? I must not have ever marked it down then, because I never checked off that I did Tablet. I couldn't remember what I had done and hadn't done yet at that point.
Yeah, Mountain Cave was right near Hawk's Nest, and Hawk's Nest was actually, it basically looped around because Hawk's Nest was right near freaking Sherlock this time around. So right now, Stoneman, the entire Guardian seed was bricks, stones, and more stones. I know you was a little bit infuriated by that.
Well, it's never fun when you don't have something easy to hurt more when you need to grind some, but we were pretty tanky, especially after I got the magic armor and silver shield. So, averaging 3 hits on a stone man wasn't terrible. I was debating whether just to do the golem, but we didn't have many heal mores, and I wasn't going to do that flute constantly.
So DK, were you talking about like at the very end when you were going to do your final dive? Was there like a return instead of a repel or something?
Yeah, I went up to Cole to get the herbs, and then I was going to go back down to Rim to top off, hit repel and dive, and I hit return on accident and had to go back through.
Because I had looked away for a second. I was like, wait a minute, what has DK been doing for the last 2 minutes? Like, he still isn't back in Sherlock. I was like wondering what was like. I thought there was some indecision, like you were maybe gonna go back to grinding, but then no, like let me go back to Sherlock. But it turns out that you just hit the return button by accident. Okay, yeah, that explains it.
I got a little giddy on that up arrow and hit the up arrow one too many times.
Yeah. Okay, that explains that then. So you had intended to try and go for that single dive all along then.
Absolutely.
Those numbers seemed really close to me to try that, and I was shocked that I don't think you even had to burn any heal mores. You just managed to, you got through all the damage tiles just by using herbs. I don't think I knew that was even possible. So that was
I've got little math for all of that down, and I knew once you're 100 plus, it's doable as long as you don't have a bad first zone there, and which we didn't after I went in earlier.
Yeah, for some reason I felt like you always burn like 2 heal mores trying to just get through there when you don't have the armor and you're not like heal walking and stuff. So yeah, good to know that the numbers are actually a little bit closer and you can try. Like that seemed like so borderline to actually try and do that on one dive. So very impressive. It looked like you used like 5 out of your 6 herbs, just getting through the damage tiles, and then you just didn't really see any really nasty monsters all the way down through there. So we know that the Red Dragon, of course, had the Dragon Lord breath, but I don't think we saw him in Sherlock at all. So yeah, things just went pretty well. That you went through the mini boss and DL1 and like still had full HP. So it was like just perfect scenario. You had all your resources.
Yeah, that went real well. Sherlock was real weak, and then the 2-shot the DL1 was awesome with a stop spell in between.
DK, surprisingly enough, I was checking out your stream on the right-hand side while everybody else was getting harassed by flame-throwing police and park rangers with flamethrowers. You didn't get to see all that. You met with the deputy more often than not. You didn't get to see any of the park rangers, big flamethrowers, and the police didn't even bother you. You didn't even see them come out of the woodwork either. Looks like Big Samu has officially finished his seed. He'll be taking
all right. GG's for Big Samu, very strong runner, and yeah, that all went very well for him as well. Yeah, DK, it'll be interesting for you when you watch this back. It's what I found interesting was like DK was the last to get the sword, and I think maybe even the last or the second to last to get keys. and still somehow that didn't seem to slow him down in terms of, you know, continuing to gain experience and just maintain that experience edge all the way through the race.
Which reminded me, DK, what is with you and going west? You were stubborn about going west for almost 35 minutes. What was up with you not going west?
No clue. Yeah, that was kind of funny. And yeah, it took me 43 minutes before I got keys, or just shy of 43 minutes. And I thought that was bad. I like that I grabbed that broadsword early, redive and grave a second time to get some extra cash. I thought that might have been very helpful, but I'm not sure what else may have went well.
Yeah, the one thing I was wondering if anyone would do with that broadsword being in that shop was to just sell their death necklace that they found pretty early on, but it looked like nobody went with that option. You found another way to raise that money, and you got that broadsword. Yeah, that did pay off for you, because it seemed like you were able to kind of keep pace with the experience. When everybody else had Erdrich's sword, I really thought that you were going to like lose your lead. You had a pretty good experience lead, but it just took you so much longer to get the sword, and usually that spells doom for anybody that has any kind of a lead. Like, the sword is so important, but you were the first one to get to hurt more, and then at that point it's less important, and just held on to the lead all the way through from there.
Hello, Slamu. Your quest has ended. How do you like that the park rangers and the police each had big flamethrowers and harassed you all seed long?
I was okay with that. I was just really hoping I could make that into a single dive in Charlock, because I knew that DK and Beta are good enough that there's no way I had time to make both, and I was right. Problem is, Dragon Lord thought otherwise, and I got insta-gibbed by him.
Funny thing is that you was only the second person to get your sword relatively early, and we were thinking you would have the edge doing a double dive, but DK just decided, yeah, I'm gonna take it. I got the stats. I'm gonna go and do this dive and win.
Yeah, see, what I was thinking on stream was, I thought that DK, if he was going to go for the single dive, I thought he was going to get one more level. And if he had taken the time to get one more level on the Stone Man, I think that would have cost him. So, yeah, but it turns out that he managed to do it single dive on whatever level that was, which I was impressed. Like, it just didn't seem like there was enough magic, but he made it work.
DK was at 15 or 16, because 16 was pretty lackluster.
Yeah, he did his.
I don't remember which
16.
one. Yeah, I thought it was 16. Yeah,
16. Yeah.
Yeah, I got 16 on the Charlock Spike, and then tried to do it on 6 Healmores, which I figure was a long shot, but an opening double and a closing double would have been enough.
We got word from Beta Strep that Beta Strep found his sword at 12 minutes. So he got his sword quick, fast, in a hurry.
Yeah, some of our runners on stream did too. It was, I think Big Slamu, you might have had this sword pretty early. I think, you know, it was over there in Cole. I think you might have been the first one to go in that direction. It was pretty quick. Maybe
yeah,
not
early
12
early
minutes, but, you know, maybe within the first 20 minutes or something.
Yeah,
definitely wasn't 12.
Yeah, I thought Stags was the first one on stream to get it, and he got it closer to like 17 minutes in.
Yeah, so like I said, it's usually really helpful. Especially like in a seed like this, we didn't have huge stats for the first 6-7 levels. Everybody had their own ways of trying to get out of jail in the beginning. So that was all pretty interesting to watch. But
yeah, I
usually
realized,
when you pick up that sword and somebody else doesn't get it for another half hour, that's like game over. But yeah, somehow DK was keeping pace. Like you said, you picked up that broadsword and you were making it work, so interesting.
Yeah, I cost myself 3 minutes early forgetting we had a fairy water in hand. I sat there and poked at regular Drakeys.
You did the full reset, right, to try and get your fairy water back? Or was
No, I didn't.
That was Stags. Maybe it was Stags. Somebody had maybe tried to use it on used it on a metal scorpion or something, didn't work out, and had to like just full reset, because it's like, you don't want to still be on level 1 and not even have your fairy water, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, I totally
so
forgot
you didn't
about
even use it, Big Slamu? You just like fought Drakeys or something?
Yeah, I fought a Drakey and 2 regular slime.
The other
like
thing
an
I think
idiot.
a couple of you guys forgot was that you actually started with the sleep spell. So some people were taking like huge damage just from like a Drakey fight. And it was like, well, like you might want to just put it to sleep. But
No, I slept Magic Drakeys all the way up to level 4.
okay. Yeah, they actually had the emergency hurt more. I'm not sure if you saw that, but yeah.
More than a couple of times, yeah.
Did you?
I think it
Okay.
took me 14 minutes to get to level 4 or something terrible.
Yeah. So it was interesting to see how everybody got those first few levels, but there were it seemed like a couple of options. Who was it? Sinister that they found Breckenary and the Swamp Cave like really early, and I was like, and a couple of people went into the Swamp Cave early and just I think they didn't remember that they had started the game with the outside spell. So it's like if you can back into Garanham in the first minute of the game, that's like enormous. But nobody was doing that for so long. I was like, just cast outside.
That was Elmore and Stags. So they were the first, and particularly Elmore, because he found Kingdom 6, and then turned right around, went into Swamp Cave, and then walked 3 steps and got slashed open by an AK-47.
Yeah, and I was waiting for somebody to sell their cursed belt and pick something up in Breckenary, but I guess Breckenary didn't have any cheap weapons, right? Was it just the broadsword there? So then the next thing was if, some people got the death necklace pretty early, was anybody going to sell the death necklace and get that broadsword early? But nobody did that either, so who knows? What do I know? All my ideas, nobody did any of it.
I sold my belt to get to 220 gold to make a dash to Remolder, and didn't make it 3 times in a row. So I went from 220 to 110 to 55.
The thing I was thinking of in that situation for you is that, like, you make the dash, but if you don't make it while the king is reviving you, you might want to just save at that point. Like, you're standing right in front of the king, so you still have 110 gold, right? So, I don't know.
I mean, I figured if I'm doing that 3 times over, there's got to be a better option. And eventually I found the skeletons that were a better option.
Yeah, it's kind of brutal when you find Rimuldar and then you just don't have the money for the keys. So that bit you a little bit. It took you a little while to get. I think you were the first one to find Rimuldar, I believe, on stream, and then it was a while before you actually were able to buy the keys. So, yeah, some things like that, they just don't work out very well. It's like, what can you do?
And it is what it is. And Stags has finished his race now, by the way.
Yeah, GG for Stags. He has not really been racing for very long, I believe, and he's had some good showings lately, so it's nice to see, people still joining into the community and, putting up good showings fairly quickly. I think people are watching these races that we're showing for everybody, and they're kind of picking up the learning curve is like quick. People are, figuring this game out really fast and competitive quite early. Is that Stags we have now? GG.
Yes, hello Stags. Your journey has ended. How do you feel about this seed and the police and park rangers giving you the business?
And you may need to unmute or something.
Or push to speak, possibly. Well, while Stags is getting himself ready, DK and Slamu, there was a point where y'all guys went to Hawk's Nest and y'all got blanked. I know DK was relatively calm about his answer. Big Slamu, how did it feel to go into Hawk's Nest to get goose egged and catfished?
So that was brutal because I left the bottom of the grave empty. So knowing that it wasn't Hawk's Nest meant that meant that Sharlock wasn't guaranteed. So I could have gone and done 7 chests in Sharlock and then had to turn around and come back to the grave. So yeah, that was not fun, but I'm glad it worked out and last chested it in Sharlock.
Yeah, luckily enough, the grave didn't have much. Hey, Stags, looks like you're trying.
Am I in now?
Yes, you are in.
Okay. I heard your question. Holy cow! I couldn't even walk 10 steps without getting sent back home for a long time.
Oh, you was getting sent back home on a regular basis. If it wasn't AK-47s giving you the business, it was the police and the park rangers giving you the business.
Yeah,
And
left and right.
yeah, you must have got the unlucky RNG. But same questions I told that I asked DK and Slamu. How did it feel to go through Hawk's Nest just to get catfished?
Oh, I never even found Hawk's Nest.
Oh,
After I had the rainbow drop, I realized, let's just roll the dice and see if the armor's in the basement.
Oh, remember,
And the
Sinister?
armor.
That was one of my other ideas. I was wondering if someone would do that. It's like, you know where Sharlock is, but you don't know where Hawksnest is. Maybe you just see if the armor's in Sharlock. So, somebody did it. Thank you, Stags. Good idea.
I had tons of strength. I actually bought a shield this time. And so I just said, the number of checks, let's just go down there and see. And if not, I'm going to be knocking out so many different big XP enemies that I would level up either way.
well, that was the idea that you and Slamu was going down and taking care of business with. To all three runners so far, one thing that I noticed, I know DK, I was mentioning why you didn't go west. The rest of you did not go east for a good minute and into the grave. So, what was your logic continuing to go west when there was still a grave that was there? I know in Elmore's case he got scared off by the police, but what about you two?
Yeah, I mean, if I have the choice between walking through a massive swamp and exploring non-swampland, I'm choosing the non-swampland for the most part. Once I got in there, I did 4 chests. I mean, the first time I saw it, I went straight in and did 4 chests, so...
And Stags, you was the first one to find that sword, by the way. You went west and you got Rumildar relatively soon, and you was the first one to find the sword. So I know you was jumping for joy when you found your sword up in the baths.
At first I was smacking my forehead because I figured I was so far behind to find it.
Well, go take a bath, embrace your Irish spring, and get a sword.
Yeah, that was good luck then.
Indeed. So, now that we got that out of the way, DK, yet again, DK, you seem to be on a hot streak. You've not only won your first race earlier this afternoon, but you cleanly went through this one. I'm pretty sure you're going to take this electricity and this energy going into week 2. Am I correct?
I mean, I'm trying not to mess around and do my thing. Let me ask a clarifying question, because I'm looking at my map. You could go west from Tantagel and make it somewhere?
From Tantagel, no. How that went for you is you would have to go east, and then there was a 2-way street. You could have went east, south. You would have went southeast and all the way around to make it over to that area, like a crescent moon. Or you would take the swamp cave south and make your way going north, and then you'd be popped out right there near basically the hub.
Got ya, yeah. Okay, yeah, I was just trying to place which way you guys were talking about it making a one. I'll watch it back and see how it was a one continent, because like I said, I never got that connection.
No, it was definitely 2 continents. The first one I've got fully circled up.
Nah, I'm pretty sure I saw 1 continent, because actually it was Stags that either you or Stags that went the long way around and found the sea coming out of that swamp. That's how I knew it was 1 continent.
I did a full loop around. There was a little square around Swamp North, Freebie Cave, Rimildar, Sharlock. I did a full loop around that guy, but that was on the other side of the Swamp Cave already. There was only Tantagel, Swamp South, Breckenary, Grave on the first continent, nothing else.
Yeah, but there was a small alcove of major swamp that if you went southeast and then cut back going southwest, you could have made it over to Sharlock and Hawk's Nest around that area. And there was another loop as well, taking the long way around to go to Hawk's Nest. But we can refer back to the footage on seeing that one right there. And right now, looks like Elmore is going back into the cave after getting smacked around real quick. Oh, but actually he's in a swamp cave. I take that back. He got sent home from Sharlock.
Another thing that makes these seeds take a little while sometimes, and I think it happened for all four of you guys, is it's like just the sequence of how you find stuff. And it's like, especially where you guys finally, you're down to trying to track down the armor. And it's like, well, I haven't found Cantlin and I haven't found Hawksness. So of course everybody finds Cantlin first. And then, you know, whether or not you have keys, that's another story. But assuming you have keys, you get in, you get the coordinates. And then it's like everybody went and they went back, they tracked down the princess, they beat the guardian, rescue the princess, and then go all the way out, and it's the fairy flute. So I think that happened to everybody.
Yeah, I know there was feel bads all across the board.
I did the pre-save. I don't know. I mean, I saved as soon as I had hurt more and heal more. I went straight into Swamp Cave, killed the stone man, grabbed the princess, and ran back. I hadn't even seen Cantlin at the time, but I knew there was 2 belts out, so ended up paying off because what was it? 20 steps from Cantlin was the spot. So. Yep.
Oh, I didn't realize that you already had the princess. Yeah, so if you're already in Cantlin and it's in that region, that's like a huge. That's when the preemptive rescue pays off the most. So you're not like going all the way back and starting your count over and all that. Yeah. So that's it. I actually like that play a lot. I tend to do that when Swamp Caves are really convenient and it's like you can beat the Guardian. It's like, why not? So yeah, nice heads up play there. But it's like everybody got the fairy flute though. Nobody like skipped that whole thing entirely and just found Hawksness first or something and then, you know. But even then, like Hawksness just had nothing, right? So it's like you're gonna still check the overworld anyways, I guess, at the end of the day. But
where was Hawksness? Because I never found it.
Just east of Sharlock and straight south. So if you went past the entrance to Sharlock, it was straight south through some swamp right next to it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because I never had the armor to be able to go explore deep into a swamp like that. I just figured my time was better spent elsewhere.
Like you said, Sinister, Elmore in the last 10-15 minutes has pretty much gathered everything. He had like an empty tracker for a long time, hadn't really found anything, and now he's just he's set. He's got everything. He's on level 16 already, and so he's just like running through Sharlock and should be fighting the Dragon Lord in just a couple of minutes here.
Yeah, and I think Elmore is a relatively new runner as well, so he may not be able to do Sharlock in the dark yet.
Yeah, seems to be pretty confident. I guess there was some extra MP on level 16, so he just popped a Radiant. He's also casting Repel, which is...
yeah, so I cast Repel 3 times through Sharlock because there's green dragons. I think there's green dragons on the first section.
Park Range was on the first 2 floors, and he had the flamethrower.
I feel like anytime I'm restreamed, I'm gonna cast a torch or cast Radiant just because nobody likes watching anybody just bonk around in the dark.
Always appreciated from our view here. Be able to see what you guys are doing. So what was your defense at the end there? So you were actually breaking and repelling green dragons. So that's helpful.
Yeah, I finished on 93. Because Axe Knights were still showing up.
Okay. You was breaking at least greens, wizards, and werewolves, but Axe Knights, deputies, AK-47s, and the police, yeah, you need about 100 to stop seeing at least 8 the Axe Knights and the deputies. So.
Yeah, that's one of the major advantages of actually getting a silver shield as opposed to skipping it, and I think all of you guys ended up getting it. So yeah, you do have that option sometimes of, you know, repelling away the green dragons, and you know, if there's something else really nasty that's like a lower tier enemy in Sharlock, you just get rid of them. It's kind of nice. If you have the large shield, then it's not an option. So it's a pretty.
Well, it's funny. I was also repelling just to speed up the dive. I figure, a 6-minute dive turns into a 3-minute dive if you repel 2/3 of the enemies. And then I run failed 4 times in a row against that stone man on the second to last floor, so it almost didn't matter.
Yeah, Stoneman was really playing pretty dastardly this seed. They were everywhere.
Yeah, I almost got baited by that stone man, that's for sure.
Yeah, besides that, it's like it was a very easy Sherlock for you guys, though. I don't think I saw any Armored Knights or Red Dragons in any of the zones. Which
no, I didn't get full stats on the zones because I only saw 3 enemies in each one, but yeah, it was not bad.
I spent my Sherlock dive, the second one after getting the armor, on a level grind. I was attacking everything that came at me and just threw some herbs at them. I knew that I had exactly 8 heal mores and then the 1 radiant, and so I didn't repel. I just swiped at everything.
Makes sense.
Actually, ended up grinding on Stoneman at the very bottom.
Elmore St. James going for some heal walking here because he's apparently out of herbs. Wants to preserve the MP, and seems to be a fairly easy bottom zone, so he's taking the risk and just heal walking right in front of the Dragon Lord. Okay, uses an herb at the end. Here we go.
Here we go. He's going to be called a fool by the Pimp Lord. And he's about to go and take on his Pimp Lord. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, for the final time for the night, here's the Pimp Lord. With his staff and cane and his cape, he is the most well-dressed man in all the land, casting spells out of his hand like it's going out of style.
And uses the herb nicely during the DL1 fight to try and fish for the stop spell, and he gets it, so he's going to enter the second phase with full HP. Always nice. And
no, he gets a flame he gets flamed in the back. Sorry, we won't be doing that.
So makes the fight a little bit closer, but still definitely with the 9 heal mores should be a favorite to win this. But you never know. It's a fairly wide range of rolls that are possible. If your attack power is on the low side, then it becomes a clincher here. But I'm seeing a lot of 19s. Seems to be rolling pretty well.
Yeah, again, 11 to 22 with 144 attack power. Yeah, you should be able to smack anything in the face all day, every day.
Yeah, I got it on my 11th. I stopped counting after I saw 3 11s in a row, and I knew I was underswinging like crazy, and I just was resigned to dying again, but I got a couple of 20s and a 22 to pull it back out.
And Slamu, your first attempt, I think you had only 6 heal mores. Were you thinking about hurt more strats on that, or were you just hoping for some big rolls, or what?
I mean, if I get opening double, closing triple, it's like a 30 to 40% chance. And knowing that DK and Beta are both right there, I mean, likely gonna be finishing any moment. I figured I had to go for it and take the chance, and if it had worked out, I would have probably slotted right in between the 2 of them, but...
Well, looks like Elmore has finally finished with 2 heal mores to spare. He gets his return, and he is getting ready to wrap up this bad boy. So we're gonna see if we can get him in, if he's up to do it, and do our closing remarks. Please make sure you give a shout out to everybody who raced over here. Big Slamu, DK9146, Stags 28, and Elmore St. James. You can also check out Kaiman Renno Kai, who is our tracker today. And of course, you have Up to NG and myself, Sinister, here doing some things. So, come and take a look at all of us. And if you want to get into the Dragon Warrior Randomizer crew, this curve is not very hard. Come on by. Come on by to the Discord. A lot of cool people here, a lot of friendly people who will be able to teach you the ways of Erdrich. So, going to see real quick for Elmore. Let's see if he gets in here.
Yeah, as you guys are all probably aware, we're right in the middle of our winter league where we're doing a bunch of tournament races with alternate flag sets. And we're going to be entering our second week with a whole new flag set starting, as early as tomorrow if races are scheduled. But every Sunday evening, we're planning on doing these standard flags races. So keeping sharp with that. And this was a good race tonight. Do we have our runner?
Yes, Mr. Elmore. Congratulations on finishing your seed. Your journey has ended. You was given the business from opening to finish. How do you feel?
I feel like I'm tired, and it absolutely shows.
You've had a long day. So, how did it feel to go through Hawk's Nest? And did you find Hawk's Nest first off?
I never did find Hawk's Nest.
Okay, so you didn't get the bad news that there was nothing in Hawk's Nest.
I did not get that bad news. I had a really bad exploration. I don't know if people are watching, but the third time around the second continent, I found all these towns that I missed by about 3 steps. Both not Garenham. Garenham I found the first time, but Cantlin as well as Romalder, I was just a few steps away from, and Mountain Cave. So that, there's a lot of rewalking around.
Yeah, that's what I was commenting kind of later on in the race. I was saying that you had to have some pretty bad exploration luck because your tracker, like when we look at the screen and it marks off like all the items and stuff, like you hadn't really found anything yet. And everybody else had like all their items like all filled up. And it's not like you weren't like, all over the map. It's just that you happened to like miss the town and the cave and stuff just by a little bit, like you just said. Yeah, that happens. Just exploration luck can get you sometimes.
Yep, that's pretty much the seed. I think I had decent RNG luck, honestly. The beginning, I think, was tough for everyone. I reset to get a fairy water on a Magidrake for level for, whatever that was worth. But once I got going. It was just the exploration that was tough.
Well, it happens to the best of us, trust me. I've had plenty of seeds where that has happened. But it looks like we are just about ready to wrap things up. Any last words from our racers tonight, actually?
Thanks for putting this together. It was fun. Glad we could get this restream and get some exposure.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you guys. Thank you, Camion, also for tracking and the restream. Obviously, it's much appreciated.
And looks like we're about ready to get this bad boy wrapped up. So I am Sinister, and up to NG. Would you like to say goodbye to the folks?
Goodbye, folks. Hope to see everybody here next week. I think we're gonna stick with this weekly schedule. Usually it's at like 8 o'clock Eastern, but we had another tournament race going on, so we pushed it back this week a little bit. But Sunday nights, standard flags. Let's keep it rolling.
Hey, you know how we do. Good fight, good night.